Wow, okay, so from fashion, we are talking gardening, and this morning it's all about pergola planting or pergola gardening, which can make any garden just look absolutely beautiful. And we have Mr. Neil Dreyer-Smith from Dr. Boomslang Indigenous Nursery with us to just talk to us about this very interesting gardening technique. Dude, how are you doing, man?
All good,
Cool,
thanks.
interesting. I have no idea about pergola planting. As far as I know, it's things that grow and they create shade.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So what do we have in front of us here?
We've got a range of different climbing plants or plants that can be trained to climb onto a pergola.
Okay.
So your first consideration is you need a good structure. So your pergola needs to be a good quality outdoor structure that's made of treated timber that'll last for a long time.
All right.
Your second consideration is how long is the plant going to last? I need a plant that's going to last for a good couple of years, not just grow really quickly, cover the pergola, and then start dying back. So we've got a couple of considerations here.
We've got, we'll start on the side.
We'll start with the star jasmine.
Okay.
Awesome plant. It's evergreen. It's a little bit on the slow growing side, but longevity amazing, 15 to 20 years. So if you've got a pergola and you want something that's going to shade nicely, this is the answer. Also really nice white flowers and a good fragrance.
Oh, stunning.
So that's a fantastic, fantastic plant. And the other nice thing about it, it can grow in a really limited root space. So if you don't have a planter to plant into,
Yes.
a big enough pot plant, off it goes.
And it'll just go.
It'll keep going for years and years.
Fantastic, okay. And then this one looks very familiar.
Yes, the common bogey. Fantastic from a color point of view. You know, in summer, you've got whites, pinks, purples. Fantastic show. Downside, pruning.
Really?
It's a thorny bugger, and
Yes.
when he gets out of control, he's very hard to tame. Needs a little bit of help when it comes to training, so you've got to actually tie him up and actually get him to go in the direction you want him to go. Once they're going, they go forever.
All right.
So it's a fantastic plant.
Great, and I know that they kind of grow fast.
They do grow fast,
Yes.
like lots of water and lots of heat. So
That's it.
any full sun position, that's going to fly.
And they look beautiful with those little purple flowers. they put
No,
on
it
as
gets
well.
covered in flowers and so on.
Yeah. And then, of course, grapes. I mean, this is a pergola plant,
Look,
like I've just learned.
there are many different options with the grape. You've obviously got a fruiting and a non-fruiting. I
Yes.
prefer to steer away from the fruiting because the fruiting vine tends to drop a lot of fruit on your patio,
Yes.
make a lot of mess, and also bring in a lot of birds, which brings extra mess.
Exactly.
The upside of them is they're fantastically fast growing. So you can plant a fruiting grape and have a pergola covered almost within a year. It's that quick.
Wow.
The downside, obviously, is it's deciduous.
Yes.
So at the end of March, April, it's going to start dropping its leaves and it's going to be bare for the entire winter.
It's going to give you a different
sun.
kind of effect.
Yeah, if you want sun on your patio in winter, fantastic option.
Yeah.
Awesome
Which
option.
I don't think is that of a bad thing, you know. It can be
No,
great.
look, I mean, some houses need the sun in winter.
Yeah.
Other houses, you've got lots of exposure. You just want shade, or you want to keep the light out of the house to cool it down. So there are other options in the grape family, which are indigenous grape options, which is the Royces family, which is a wild grape. And those are evergreen, which are fantastic,
Right.
and they don't have the big grapes that the Vitis has, so you don't get the mess, but you do get the birds. So lots of options.
Don't want to have the birds on your patio. Okay, so you gave us a nice range of different type of pergola plants. Now, in your professional opinion, for someone wanting to try this at home in terms of, either building or buying a structure, what type of plant would you suggest?
Look, the star jasmine is probably the most versatile.
Okay.
It's very easygoing. It's quite drought resistant. It can grow in full sun or semi-shade. It climbs on its own, so you don't actually need to train it. It'll find the structure
Oh, really?
and it'll actually climb up on its own. So, and it's water-wise. It doesn't need tons of water. So if you forget to water it, a couple of times during the summer, it's not going to die on you.
Okay, cool. So is there anything you need to take into account when you start growing this in terms of when to plant it? Is it kind of seasonal?
Look, with that kind of plant is not too important. It can be planted just about any time of the year. Probably the most important thing is just consider how much root space you're going to give the plant, because obviously the more root space you've got, the more compost you can get in there, the faster your plant's going to grow and the more it's going to thrive.
And this is beautiful. I think you can get really creative with your structures and then really training these plants.
Yeah, and
to
don't be
grow
afraid
great.
to mix two different species together.
There you go.
you get two different flowering times and two different textures out of your leaf. So
Awesome. Neil, thank you so much for coming through, man. Really appreciate it. We'll put all the details on our website, expressoshow.com, if you want some more info on pergola planting. Really giving your garden that something extra. Now, are you a fan of 30 Rock? That comedy?
yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yes?
yes.
We've been talking about it this whole morning, and here's a little bit of another quick little sneak peek of what goes on behind the scenes.